episode 119 of Anime and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z. Sort of.
Alright guys, last episode we got category Z, Zimba. First off, this is going to be a really short one because we watched 4 episodes, the first 3 and the last one. It's god-awful. We've done that a couple times before. Our reasoning is it's so f***ing hard to watch.
Well, it's also so long, and there's not...
You gotta stop at some point, right?
And there's no seasonal things to it, you know?
Yeah, it 100% didn't feel like there was going to be a 12 season, then another 12 season, then another... You know, it was just 52 episodes.
Yeah, and it's definitely a Pokemon Digimon ripoff.
We'll get into that.
So it's a kid's show, so that's even more ripe for this kind of review.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Zimba is a Chinese animated series produced by Alpha Culture Animation and Chongqing Sime Animation, consisting of 52 episodes, broadcast in 2013 in Italy. Only the first 2 episodes were aired on K2 on September 12, 2017, in late hours after midnight, a band usually used for reruns. So that's the wiki for Zimba, and for some reason when we load the page, it's in Italian, and we have to translate it to English, so that last part probably didn't make sense to us.
No, but it's weird, because it says only the first 2 episodes were aired in Italy.
Yes, I was wondering about that.
So...
And the things in Italian, so like I thought maybe it was like really big in Italian and nowhere else was into it, so that's why it's in, no.
And apparently it's Chinese animation, so...
Yeah, that makes sense. So this is terrible, and it's not terrible because we're adults watching a children's show. I remember Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
And I remember it pretty well because I've rewatched it with my children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good show for children. Is it a good for adults? Probably not. It's probably really boring for adults. But it's a great show for children, right? There's good, there's evil, there's plot development. Now, the plot development seems to be the same thing season after season, but for the first season, it's not that bad. There's good and evil, right? There's you know, pretty girls, there's bad guys, there's good guys, it gets gray sometimes with some of the plot. But with this, it's just like, you're a loser. It's an autistic kid with f***ing headphones, and he gets thrown into another world where he gets this Digimon-Pokemon hybrid that doesn't really like him, and he really doesn't like it, except for when they're fighting. When they fight, they seem to have a weird friendship bond, but when they're not fighting, they call each other idiot and loser, and they hate each other. Well, there's a lot to get into it.
I guess you should...
For the 4 episodes.
I guess you should go into the premise.
Well, premises, for some reason or another, I couldn't gather why, but he was transported to this new world, right? We get that a lot. And he's a linker, which is someone who can link with these Pokemon Digimon type creatures called Zimba. And he can link to them and through their bond, and he can give them energy, and they get bigger and stronger, and then they can fight battles and stuff. And there's like this kingdom that recruits the linkers to fight the bad guys called...
I don't know.
9 o'clock. They're called 9 o'clock. Got that in the 3rd episode.
You're right.
And the 9 o'clock people are essentially Jesse and James from Team Rocket.
The Team Rocket ripoffs.
Yes, and it's a bad ripoff. All of it's bad. And, you know, through hijinks and stupidness, because the dialogue is terrible and the voice acting is terrible, you know, they fight each other and the good guys win in the end. Yep. That's it. That's the whole show.
Pretty much. It's your typical kids show that's surprisingly only 52 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
As for why he was brought there, from what I remember of that first episode, he was summoned there because they were trying to summon the chosen legacy guy, that linker, who can do that. You also didn't mention that the Zimbas, you keep saying Digimon Pokemon ripoff, but they're more like toys, robots.
Yeah, they're kind of like toys or robots, but they look a lot like Digimon and they can talk. They have armor, some of them, which is a big Digimon thing. I don't think they evolve, though, which is a big Digimon thing.
No,
and
they
a Pokemon thing. Do they?
In that last episode we watched, there's, you know, that Lion Zimba is like ultimate form.
Yeah, it took 52 episodes to get to it.
No, I'm sure it was
Whatever.
like because he's already in and out of that form easily.
Okay.
So I'm sure it happened along the way. You know what I mean?
We just didn't catch it.
Well, yeah, because we skipped 40 episodes or some shit like that.
Yeah. But guys, look, the dialogue is god-awful. The writing is terrible, and the voice acting is just as bad.
No, the voice acting is the worst thing in this show.
It's so bad.
It is. The voice acting is downright unlistenable sometimes.
It's like someone's on a mic, and let's say the line is, go over there, or, I don't know, like, look over there, right? Mm-hmm. It's just, look over there.
No, actually,
it's so monotone.
It's monotone, but it's like, look over there. Like they're trying to get through trying to get through their lines as quickly as possible. Every character too, and if the characters' designs themselves are weird because some of them feel like they're supposed to be in a video game somewhere else, and then there's this kid who just looks like he's a straight up '90s character, and none of the
who's autistic.
He's not autistic.
He's definitely autistic. He always has his headphones on over his ears, right? And whenever in the first episode when he's like being yelled at and stuff, he's just like sitting in the fetal position with his hands over his ears.
Doesn't mean he's autistic.
Autistic.
Whatever. He's not though. He's the hero of the show.
Sort of.
Because the first episode, some of them here, and this is what we got, and from then on,
they called him loser, like, over and over and over again.
These adults are picking on this kid, and then they wanted to throw him in prison after they kidnapped him.
Yeah, like, he just transported to this world, they kidnap him, and they're like, oh, you're a loser, let's throw him in the prison.
Uh-huh.
It's so f***ing dumb. It's like a child wrote it, not like an adult wrote it for a child. It's f***ing stupid.
Yeah, it is really... And the first 3 episodes are really... Terrible. But I guess we should try and explain maybe some...
The first 2 episodes, he stumbles upon the Zimba, who's like sleeping under this rock in a cave type thing. Literally under a rock in a cave, so the cave goes down. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, he stumbles on it, and they form a bond, they link, and they're together now. And then...
Well...
The kid's not good at giving him his energy, but eventually he gets good at it.
Well, I guess we should explain. They try to arrest the kid. He escapes.
Yeah,
and
the place he escapes to happens to be the place where their force arrives at.
Well, no. What happens is he falls from the castle, lands in the back of the truck.
The trash truck
that they were using to go to the place that they needed to go. So he ended up with the group.
Not because they needed a trash truck, because that's their f***ing transport vehicle. It's a dump truck.
And it's not even their transport vehicle, because in the second episode they showed they actually have a transport vehicle.
It didn't make any sense.
No.
They literally just made it a trash truck because they needed somewhere salter in the land.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid. But, so they sort of line up at the same place, and he saves the day after he stumbles upon a Zimba and gives an energy.
And then they're like, oh, you have a Zimba now. Now you're useful. Okay, now you can be one of us.
And he's got a strong one, not just anyone.
Right. And then the third episode, there's a town, and then there's wild Zimba attack, and then the wild Zimba is like a monkey thing, and he saves, he ends up saving the monkey. And then we're introduced to Team Rocket.
But there's a whole subplot thing where... He's not allowed to go on missions until he can master using this hoverboard. Now, as an adult, and knowing what's going on with this kind of thing, I can understand that uses his force energy that they use for the Zimbas, and that when he's good enough to use it, right, he'll be good enough to fight with his Zimba because he'll be able to focus his force energy properly. But they don't f***ing explain that at all in the show. And he's really bad at using it until his Zimba gets kidnapped, and then he's f***ing amazing at using it in the blink of an eye.
Wow.
So dumb.
Wow, I didn't even pick up on that.
No, that was 100% what all that was about. But they didn't tell you any of it.
I didn't even give it any thought. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess he's just really bad at this.
Yeah, it was essentially a training arc for him where he did 0 training and got all the rewards. Because he didn't have to train to get good at it. As soon as his Zimba was captured, oh, I'm really good now. And he just goes right after him.
And then we're introduced to Team Rocket, which is...
Who are the ones that stole his Zimba? How is that not a Team Rocket Pikachu thing? Come on. Oh.
Well, they just found him.
Well, sure, but the first time they found Pikachu, they didn't know Pikachu was amazing or anything.
Well, that's true. They found him and held him hostage, which lasted for like 30 seconds. They're incompetent. They're Team Rocket. Oh. They're the bad guys, and it's stupid.
And all the entire time, the dialogue and the voice acting is so bad. It's so bad. I can't get that. Don't watch it. Like, the fact that you listen to this review long enough to get to this point, you know the whole show. Don't watch it.
So, in the last episode, did you notice any marked improvements?
I don't think so.
After 52
If anything, it's par of the course because his big grand battle is against a dark version of him and his Zimba, and it's done so poorly. It's like, the dark version of the hero is done in a lot of stories. It's done in a lot of games. It's done in a lot of movies, and it's overused for sure. But now the thing is, like, almost everything's overused. So if you do it well, who cares?
Right.
They did it so bad.
Yeah, that part is bad. But I did like the twist that the queen in the beginning was actually the bad guy at the end.
I didn't.
You didn't
I
notice?
wasn't paying that much attention.
Yeah, but
I was cleaning the house while it was on, so I was kind of looking over.
You know that queen in the very beginning?
Yes, I remember.
The nice queen? Apparently she was the main bad guy, it turns out, in the end.
Oh, there you go.
So there's something in that. And it looked like the show had more of a budget towards the last episode. Like, it was drawn a little
right?
It was drawn a
Yeah,
little
it
better.
did look a little better.
So...
He finds his Zimba after being lost for some reason or another.
Yeah, we didn't get that
And his
far.
hair's all, like, messed up as if he hasn't taken a shower in a while.
The show's not good by the end of it, but it does look like there's some improvements along the way.
Not
But-
for me. Not for any child. There are so many better shows out there to watch.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
watch this?
Yeah, no. I mean, hell, there's like a million episodes of Pokemon.
Yeah, literally any season of Pokemon, even the bad ones, which is most of them. Just watch that.
I've really never seen anything past like the first season.
I've seen bits and pieces, and I watched quite a bit of Digimon. Not a lot, but I watched quite a bit of the other seasons, and they're pretty good compared to this.
Well, there you go. That was
We stretched that to almost 12 minutes.
Simba. Oh, I guess we should rate it.
Yeah, what else was Z? Well, we're gonna rate it first, right? Rate 2.
Yeah,
1.
2. Now it's a 2.
It's bad.
I don't think it's not like Koikaze though.
No, Quikaze was -8.
I mean, it's also not like Galaxy Railways bad.
Yeah, it's true.
2. Yeah, it's a 2.
What else was Z?
Zion, I Wish You Were Here.
Zegapane.
Zegapane. And Zone of the Enders, the lore.
What was Zion? I Wish You Were Here.
It's such a bland anime that honestly I don't remember what it is. I just remember the name. It was
It's usually me that can't remember.
every time we come to Z, I can never remember this anime.
They're all bad. There's no good Z. I guess Zion, I Wish You Were Here is number 1 because I hate the rest, and I can't remember Zion.
No, that means that's the worst if you can't remember it though.
No, because the ones we hate are the ones that are the worst always.
I didn't mind Zone of the Enders Dolores.
I don't like it. Oh, and I remember. You know what? Zone of Enders is okay. We had a little fun with it. That's number 1. Then Zion. Then Zegapane. Then this. Although Zegapane might be last.
Yeah, Zegapane might be last.
I guess if you're watching all 52 episodes, this is last.
Yeah.
If you're watching the 4, then Zegapane's last.
Yeah, but Zegapane was really, really, really bad. But I gotta agree because I don't remember what's on. I think it was like 2 OVAs or something. Was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It was so forgettable that I don't remember. My memory is like a steel trap.
We'll click on it in a minute. So it's the end of the alphabet categories. And I was going to do my little wheel that I always do, but I really want you to watch Berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was thinking about still doing a wheel and doing the wheel of 2 options, Berserk anime, which came first, and then Berserk 3 movies, which covers the first anime. And then there's a couple other seasons of Berserk that came out in like 2016 that are terrible.
Okay.
I haven't watched all of them, but I was thinking about doing the 2 wheel between the old anime and then the 3 movies. But I decided this is much like Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, in my opinion. You go watch the original first, then watch the next one. Even though it covers the same material, you have much more appreciation for what happens with the updated anime.
Okay.
So we're going to watch the first one first. I'm sure it's on the website, but I've got the DVDs in case it isn't for you. Berserk. That's what we're watching.
All right, I guess.
All right, guys. Next episode.
Bye.
Berserk. See ya.